Justin, here we go, Moto 1 of the 450s. Not a great jump for Adam, and he's going to get pinched off. And it's going to be Marvin Musquin leading them around. Can he hold on for the whole shot? Tomac right there, but it's going to be Musquin. Oh, big pile up.
Oh, yeah, Marv, when he went on the brakes, you saw the front end dive. It was a little something. No, it wasn't Marvin.
No, it wasn't Marvin. That might have been Baggett. It was a different KTM that went flying. Tomac's second. Osborne is third. No, it's Bogle. I knew it was one of those Rocky Mountain ATV KTMs. Hopefully Bogle's okay. Musquin, motorsport.com whole shot. But here is Eli Tomac. Hard to say anyone has pressure on them in just the fifth moto of the season. But Tomac's got to reestablish himself as the alpha dog in this class. He's got a great opportunity to do it with a good start. Yeah,
a lot of the main contenders up front. You see Osborne, he is in third. So basically, for Marv, he looked really good in qualifying practice. Even though he wasn't the fastest, just watching him, he would put 2, 3, 4 laps together, and they would all be within about a half second, 3/4of a second. So he's got the consistency. The track's dried out a lot since they last saw it.
Marv just inching away from Tomac a little bit here in this first half a lap. Then Osborne, your series points leader, is third. Another good start from Max Anstey, the Brit, on the Twisted T HEP Suzuki. Great to see that. Sexton fifth. Wilson, Noren, Cianciarulo, Baggett, Short, John Short rounding out the top 10. So Cianciarulo did not get the jump. Good recovery to even stay inside the top 10 early.
That's one of the beauties of taking that very inside gate. He did kind of botch the start. He got, oh, there's Bogle. This guy can't catch a break. No. He's just injuries after injury, and it really affects athletes. But that was a bit of an awkward, violent crash. I think the handlebars might have got him right in the gut area.
Making a mistake, and he's going to get passed here by Anstey. Let's see if Osborne can fight back. Coming out of that left-hander, he bobbled, just able to hold Anstey back to the number 4 spot. What? Cianciarulo, where did he come from? 10th to 4th.
Wow.
It's as if he did it one straight away.
He looked really good in qualifying, so to see him moving forward is not a surprise, but at that rapid rate, it's pretty remarkable, because he really did, he'll admit it, he botched that start. He got too much traction. The front wheel came up. He had it in a full lock because he was leaning off track, went off track. But look at Sexton.
Well, yeah, as fast as Cianciarulo has moved forward, Sexton is going right with him and now trying to make the pass. These two ride together during the week. Oh, and they cross lines. Too close for comfort there, especially heading midair over a triple. Sexton trying to get around the 9. The 9 trying to hold him off.
Yeah, Sexton kind of backed out of that. I think he thought maybe Cianciarulo was going to chop him off, and he had just enough room in front of him. That's what gets a little sketchy around those jumps. There's a lot of air time, so if a guy moves over a little bit, he floats for quite a bit.
Both closing in, actually, on Osborne as they've gotten around Anstey. So if you can somehow keep track of this, Cianciarulo has passed 5 riders, yet I think he's holding Sexton up. How is that possible? Yeah. Sexton looking for running room. These guys are on the gas. Now Savacci with trouble. He's walking off under his own power, but maybe shaken up.
Another rider, just if he could stay injury-free, he could just start building some momentum, but it's just not happening.
Yeah. Tough break for both he and Bogle. Yeah, same situation for both of them. So we go back to this battle. Osborne third, Tomac second, Musquin the lead, but it is fourth and fifth, Cianciarulo and Sexton. And now Freddie Noren on the 31, the JGR Yoshimura Suzuki moving forward. Baggett right behind him. Then it's Anderson and Dean Wilson in the top 10.
Well, at the moment, you got the kids coming after the established guys. So top 3 are all been around for quite some time, but in this class, Sexton, Cianciarulo, the rookies, not riding like rookies at all.
Baggett around Noren, so that'll move him up to 7th with Anstey in 6th.
Good to see Anderson just behind these guys, so he's in the mix. Not a great start for him, but Anderson, I think for him right now, he just got to try find some consistency. When he's on, he's unbeatable, but when he's off, 10th places aren't gonna get that championship.
It was tough for him in the mud last week as Baggett goes after Anstey. Does he make the pass here? Anstey gonna try to come back. Really rough on the inside, and that throws him off, and that allows Baggett to make the pass stick. So Baggett up to 6th. He is riding well, but he's got some work to do because those 2 rookies just absolutely flying early in this race have broken away. Little bit of a gap between Baggett here on the 4, and then that Sexton-Cianciarulo battle just ahead. And Musquin stretching a little on Tomac, 2.2 seconds, and then Tomac doing the same thing. He's put about 2 seconds into Osborne. And in fact, Cianciarulo is coming after your series leader.
That's definitely going to be a bit of a tough pill to swallow if you're Zach Osborne. 2 great rounds, got the points lead, momentum's going with you. You're in a great position, and if you're watching your competitors kind of stretching away and then you're getting caught by the youngsters behind, it doesn't set well. He'll go back to the pits a little frustrated, try to figure out maybe how to be better. And we talked about hitting the setup. It seems often you'll see this. Riders that maybe struggled at a place like Loretta Lynn's will do well here because it's like, all right, you know, it's a normal track, my bike's set up for this. But sometimes it can go the other way. You know, maybe for Osborne, he had that set up really well there, and now with these longer ruts, bigger bumps, more high speed, maybe it just feels a little bit different. I'm just speculating.
All right, well, that's fun to watch early in the season when no one is exactly sure where they stand, and right now you got 2 rookies rolling up on the veteran series leader. There he is, Osborne, on the Rockstar Husky number 16. Cianciarulo and Sexton running in formation. Cianciarulo is last year's 250 champ. Raced Supercross, of course, on a 450 this year. Showed speed, had a lot of fast qualifying times. I thought he lost ground for a second. He was just on the extreme outside. That's why I didn't see him for a moment behind Osborne. He's coming right back after him. Sexton, even more of a rookie, if I can use that terminology, because he did not race 450s in Supercross. He is just jumping on the big bike right now. Battle beginning to develop. Tomac has found his groove and is closing on Musquin.
And that kind of makes sense to see this yo-yo effect. Marv, another one, keep saying it, but a bit of a crafty Frenchman. He would have been good with picking the lines early. Tomac's like a bit of a diesel engine. It takes him a little time to figure it out, where he can really push, get those lines dialed in. He's definitely always a second half type guy. It's going to be fun to watch.
And send it to Will with more on your defending champ. Will?
Well, I think you nailed it there, Grant, didn't you? Sometimes it takes Eli Tomac a little time to find that groove. I spoke to the team earlier and asked them really, you know, what was going on in qualifying, because he qualified 13th. That's very unusual for him. And they said, well, they've been testing a lot this last week. He'd actually been out in California. They've been testing 3 days. But he said, actually came away from that very, very happy. And he said, you know, really happy for anybody, you know, because Eli doesn't really show that much emotion. So they said, really, they're expecting better things to happen in the moto there. He blamed the qualifying on him. He said he just couldn't quite find the right line. So to your point there, Grant, this might be him getting into his groove now.
Yeah, we had a little alarm. Okay, look, he didn't finish either moto last week, but in mud races, crazy things happen. It was really strange. I feel almost more abnormal. 13th in qualifying today.
Yeah.
That was strange. So we're starting to wonder, where's the champ's usual form? I think you're seeing it right now as he continues to close on Musquin for the lead.
Well, what I'm also curious is, could this potentially be a 5-rider battle for the lead? Because it's starting to tighten up. Even the lap times are pretty close, but as they come across the line this time around, let's look at some lap times. Musquin at 2:06 flat, Tomac 2:06.1, Osborne 2:05.7, Cianciarulo 2:05.1, and Sexton at 2:05.4. So third, fourth, and fifth, a little bit quicker than the front two that lap around.
Yeah, and now you can see Osborne in the back with Tomac, and the 2 rookies are coming right with him. We had a great first moto battle here last year, and Musquin won it. Can he do it again? To the top of Godzilla. What a scenario is developing. You called it. Sexton and Cianciarulo closing on Osborne as Osborne is closing in on the lead duo. Only 10 minutes down, and you get a feeling it's going to get better and better. And Baggett not too far behind Sexton either. Cianciarulo looking for running room to make a move on Osborne.
His front wheel was floating on the edge of the track there. That could have taken him down quite easily. Great save there, but Cianciarulo hanging it out. And yeah, like you said, Baggett hitching a ride with this group. But you could almost see that Osborne had a little look over his shoulder a little earlier, and I think when he saw those guys coming, it was like, all right, I can't settle in third for a while and keep them tapped. I got to get going. You almost could see the intensity pick up from him, which brought him back towards the front two.
Under the covered bridge. A lot of covered bridges in this area, so they actually built one at the motocross track as a bit of a hat tip to one of the more distinct parts of this region of the country, as Cianciarulo goes back after Osborne. But Osborne losing a little bit of ground to the Tomac Musquin duo up front for the last time we saw them. And I think it's because Tomac's put the hammer down and is closing on Musquin again.
Well, the other thing too, you know, for Osborne, let's just say hypothetically, Tomac gets around and wins, and Osborne kind of has a rough end of the motor and gets 6 or 7. All of a sudden, those points are going away in chunks. So he's got that in the back of his mind too.
That's what it's all about here live on MAV TV. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship in a great race developing in our first 450 class moto of the day. There's your top 3, Marvin Musquin, Eli Tomac, and Zach Osborne. And they're bringing the kids with them, the 2 rookies, Adam Cianciarulo and Chase Sexton, the top 5 all in one stop.
Bringing the kids with them.
Yeah.
It's a family affair, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's all go. Now, the kids are on it, man. They're riding so well. And I always was curious to see what would the dynamic be. You've got Tomac, a seasoned veteran who's been around the block a few times, and then you got Cianciarulo, a young, popular, up-and-coming superstar. 2 very talented guys, different ways they approach things under the same tent. But on the track, it's kind of cool to see just what I suspected. They were going to battle.
And with this group closing, still got to give a shout to Musquin, who's led the entire way. A year ago, he won a very similar scenario. Great first moto battle. He was able to beat Tomac and Ken Roczen straight up to get that moto win. Maybe one of the best runs we've ever seen Marvin have, as Tomac has a foot come off the peg there.
He got ripped off because he landed in those muddy ruts. But yeah, for Marv, best advice I could give him right now: do not look back. You're not gonna like what you see.
Yeah, 4, 5 riders, if you count Baggett, are going to be right there. Anyway, so Musquin wins the first moto here a year ago. Then off the start of Moto 2, he actually tangled with Osborne, hurt his knee, and that began this process. He took a few months off, got back in the bike, hurt the knee again, and he was off for a year. Now Osborne has caught Tomac, and how about this? Series points leader and the 3-time defending champ are going to duel for second.
This is what we want to see. The title contenders going at it. And talked about Tomac being a second half rider. So is Osborne, actually. A lot of times, even if he's fast out of the gate, he seems to just build off of that. Just slowly but surely, you'll see. And a lot of times tracks get slower, so the lap times don't show it, because you're like, oh no, he's riding the same time, or he's a little bit slower. But everyone else slowed up more, if it makes sense. He slows up less.
Launching is Tomac, and he used it to get away. Wow, that was impressive. Just a couple of bike lanes he puts in to his gap on Osborne, and now Musquin has stretched it back out. Now this pack, Sexton tries to get around Cianciarulo. They've each had their strengths and weaknesses throughout this moto, and now it's advantage Sexton trying to pass the number 9.
Yeah, can't say enough about this rookie. And even if you factor in his 250 career in motocross, it was not exactly astonishing or anything that made you go, wow, this guy's going to be the next big thing as a 450 rider. But I think a lot of people saw that, you know what, he's one of those guys that could be better on the big bike. Let's move him up younger. And that has paid off. He really suits his bike. And even in testing before the season, the rumor was that he was most times faster than Ken Roczen. I think I just saw Sexton launch over one of those knuckles back there.
He is giving Cianciarulo all he can handle here in this 23. And these 2 pretty good buds. Like I said, they ride together during the week. They now ride at James Stewart's compound in Florida. So they're familiar with each other. So about 2 laps ago, it was Cianciarulo going after Osborne. Then a lap ago, it was Osborne going after Tomac. Now it's Sexton going after Cianciarulo. Musquin just slipping away by the slightest bit. And all the while, Blake Baggett lurking back there as well. You see a vintage El Chupacabra charge in the second half of this moto.
It looks like he's putting himself in a position to potentially do that. That would be one of the probably greatest victories of his career.
If he could roll all these guys.
I was going to say, that's a tall order, but this is, I think, a little lull in the moto. as we approach halfway that everyone's just having a quick little breather. They know they got 15 minutes.
Oh.
And they can do what in 15?
I think you know. I think you know what they can do.
All right.
Come on, Gio.
At 15 minutes, they could save 15% or more on their motorcycle insurance.
Yes.
Or, if you're Adam Cianciarulo, throw a few more extra points on your tally by moving forward.
Try to get the points leader, Osborne. Osborne knows what he wants to do. He wants to beat Tomac and Musquin and further stretch that points lead. And it could go any direction in the second half. 15 minutes and 2 laps to go in this moto. Oh, this is good stuff. I love the way this series has worked out with that mud race last week. I don't think anyone knows where they stand confidence-wise. So they are all throwing at it right now and trying to establish themselves. I'm going to give you the motosport.com whole shot replay and show you how Musquin grabbed the lead in this one. Tomac was right there with him. And that's where they are still right now. Cianciarulo all the way on the left. That inside did not pay off. Thought Osborne was going to have it.
Anderson almost went down, and then watch the 19 move towards the inside, and then and then the bike actually hits the hay bale covering the tree.
Yeah, all the way in the right, Bogle.
But because the bike came back into the pack, it collected a few other people as well.
Yeah, Anstey was lucky to sneak through there in yellow on the inside. You can see Bogle again go for a wild ride.
See the bike hits that hay. Luckily, that was there, and then but it puts the bike back into the line of traffic. Ooh.
Was he washing the front?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like he was coming into your living room, folks.
Anstey managed to escape. But I'm not what has happened to Anstey. He's gone back to 12th now. Remember, he was around 4th despite that off the start. He has fallen down, we heard. That's leading that 12th place position at the moment. Hey, how about Marvin Musquin? All these big hitters there. Tomac got close for a while, but the Frenchman has pushed it back out to 2.2 seconds, and what a great full circle run it would be. He won the first moto here last year, but the second moto, that's where the knee injury came. He missed nearly a year of action. Can he get back on top at the very same track? So Marvin Musquin putting it to them right now, withstanding the pressure from Tomac, pulling back away at least for the moment on the Red Bull KTM, although you got to feel like this is a long way from over when you got the champ lurking.
Yeah, that's way too close for comfort. They're pushing hard, and he's basically one mistake away from either Eli getting him or being right back on him. So these are those motos that it's so mentally draining. You know, you often hear riders saying, you know, I just had to focus on hitting my marks, because it's so easy to be distracted knowing all the talent that's right behind you. It's really hard to stay in that zone where you're just focusing about every little thing that you do. But when you do that, one, you make less mistakes, and two, it helps your mind from wondering about all the scenarios.
Baggett has lost some ground. He's now 15 seconds behind this group. The rest of the 5 pretty close. Sexton was trying to get Cianciarulo. He's still 5th, about 10 seconds back. Cianciarulo 4th. Osborne and Tomac, whoa, getting close to the lap traffic. Osborne, Tomac, 3rd, 2nd, and then Musquin here, your leader. Does Tomac have another charge coming? Or is Musquin looking to win this first moto again, similar to the way he did a year ago? And he's 2nd in the points, so you give this guy a moto win early. And suddenly you really got to start thinking title for Marv after at first we were just hoping he'd get back to the races at all.
Well, we were kind of talking all about Osborne and Tomac, but can't forget about this guy. He's come close so many times. Is this the year?
See the future stars of NASCAR on the ARCA Racing Series live on MAV TV Motorsports Network. Check mavtv.com for airtimes. Here's some airtime. Marvin Musquin jumping back down into Ironman Raceway and holding up under fire. Eli Tomac in the green, the number 1 back there. The monster Kawasaki has gotten close a few times, but each time Musquin able to withstand that. 10 minutes and 2 laps left in this moto. You gotta figure there'll be another challenge coming from Tomac. Tomac, though, is clear now, about 3 seconds from Osborne, who is 3rd, series leader. and winner of the first 2 rounds this year. Then it's Cianciarulo, then it's Sexton. So we were bracing ourselves for this unbelievable wheel-to-wheel battle. But instead, last 3 or 4 laps, they've all stretched out from each other a bit.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of mistakes. What we have seen the last, say, 5 minutes of the Moto is riders searching for some other lines. Like some of the lines that were working at the beginning have gotten either they've blown through or they've got a big hook in it or a big hole. So that watching the riders searching, I think some have made little mistakes, and then you add in lap traffic. It could, you know, if you catch guys at the wrong time, or with these long ruts, they might be trying to get out of your way, but if you get in a rut and get stuck behind them, you can lose quite a bit of time.
So here is Osborne in 3rd, but no longer has Tomac in his sights. Not going to be happy about that, I'm sure. And then you can see Cianciarulo in 4th in some sections. Right now, kind of a lonely run for everyone. And Osborne winning the first 2 rounds this season, but totally different scenario here. Those two were at the same track, and everybody coming in with a clean slate today. Been a good ride for Cianciarulo, fastest in qualifying, bad start in this Moto, made up ground in a hurry to get to 5th, then 4th, but hasn't been able to go further than that. And then 5th, the rider that Cianciarulo rides with during the week, Sexton. And there he is, way on the inside here on the Honda HRC machine.
Yeah, it looked like he may have caught 2 lappers at the same time at not the ideal spot. But we've seen this from Sexton where he'll be really good and then he kind of can lose his rhythm a little bit. Remember last week he pulled it back. We're like, oh wait, he's coming back again.
And then Baggett will come through next. Pretty big gap though, as we mentioned. There it is on the number 4. And Will, what are you hearing on the number 4?
Just checking in with their team and his wife, Kaylee, there earlier on. Just chatting to her about where Blake was. You guys said sort of, you know, it's been a good start to the season so far. So I just wanted to check in and see where he was at. And she said, actually, he's feeling really confident and looking forward to this race. Because this is, like we've said, is probably going to be more of a test of where everybody is at. And she said it's a bit different this year. He's actually been riding with a bunch of the Baker's factory guys. Normally, Blake rides by himself. She said he's done that for years. And she said that's just been different because he came into the series knowing where he was stacking up against other riders, knowing where he fitted into that slot. And just a little side note here, guys, his son Breaker, and Kaylee's son Breaker, turned 1 yesterday.
Yeah, pretty cool social media post from Blake about all the stuff Breaker's done in the first year. But I can tell you, news in store, there's going to be a lot more cool stuff happening as each year goes by. Next rider we're going to see on the lead lap should be the 51 of Barsha, who has come out from a bad start. Wait a minute. Eli Tomac is back. He's got the gap under 1 second, catching Musquin. And Musquin ran a 2:06.7, and Tomac ran a 2:04.9. So he made up almost 2 seconds in 1 lap. It's on here in Indiana.
Yeah, that's another one of those Tomac type lap times because he was at a 2:04. Marv's 2:06 was actually still.
Oh, but he makes a mistake. GL coming out of that corner gave some of that back.
Yeah, Tomac over 2 seconds quicker. The only other rider, so Tomac was a 2:04, Marv was a 2:06, and Sexton was also 2:06. Everyone was higher than that. So
it's been the yo-yo battle, as they call it, right? It goes in, but it stretches out, it closes up, it stretches out, it closes up, and that is the case here. As Tomac now has Musquin again in his sights, so he lost ground in 1 corner, and it's made a lot of it back about 4 turns later.
Yeah, and the pace that the front 2 are pushing have taken them away from Osborne. He's about 9 seconds behind Tomac now. And that's the luxury, though, that Osborne has. If that's all he had is a 3rd place in this Moto, that's still good. If things stay the way they are, and you know, Tomac gains 2 points on him, Marv gains 5, not the end of the world.
Also saw them lapping Bogle, so good to see that Bogle is back in this race after that violent crash off the start. He is 2 laps down, but Bogle's gone through a lot injury-wise the last couple of years, so just good to see that he's healthy and still out there logging laps. And we just clicked off another one here at Ironman Raceway. So the mistake cost Tomac a bit. It was 0.9 seconds, now it's 1.8. Fans sensing this battle coming together, and it's going to be for the lead if Tomac can get to him.
About 5 minutes plus 2 laps, so still
And they
enough
pulled
time.
well clear of these guys. There's Osborne on the left there, and Cianciarulo and Sexton right with him again.
Yeah, those guys found that pace again. Like I said, Sexton pulled out almost a Tomac lap time and brought himself right back into this mix. But we heard the riders saying that this is a track that it's very easy to make mistakes on, and I think that's what we're seeing when a rider gets the lap pretty clean and another rider around him makes a mistake. It looks like, oh, he's just dropping him, but it could be literally one little thing.
Oh, it's one little thing here. Not much in it between Osborne and Cianciarulo, and Cianciarulo tried going all the way to the right side of the track. He is now looking for an opening on Osborne. Gunning for third.
Osborne keeps that inside. Cianciarulo tries the outside. I didn't know if he was going to be able to launch into that roller section. Crosses over. This is going to be interesting to see who's got the better lines and where. Because if you're Cianciarulo, you're looking. Oh!
Osborne into a lap rider, and it's going to cost him both spots.
That was
Cianciarulo and Sexton by.
That was really unfortunate. That was
Dyer on the 269.
I think he was coming in on the inside, maybe missed that line, or Osborne just didn't anticipate that he was still planning to go to the outside. But that's what can happen in racing. And just like that.
Take us through it, Gio.
Well, this might give us a better angle. You see, the lap is on the inside. Yeah, I think Osborne tried to beat him to the spot. Because that was...
Yeah, so do you think I'll have them cleared by the time I get there, and they just didn't quite make it?
Well, there was originally that it's Cianciarulo just
impressive.
goes, hey, there's no room, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so that's a huge shakeup. Your series leader now back to 5th after the tangle with the lapper. Marvin Musquin trying to make it a replay. A year ago, he has put the hammer down. Now 3.8 seconds ahead of Tomac. Marv, is he ever back today? Oh, this would feel so good. I mean, the amount of rehab and pain and surgeries and time off the motorcycle, even the mental strain of all that. If Musquin can erase those bad memories and win here at Ironman, the same track where those injuries started, man, that would feel good. And
in these conditions,
yeah,
with
these
that
are
pressure.
not good conditions. Yeah, these are not good conditions. I mean, yeah, under the pressure, and yeah, you got a knee injury. All these ruts too. Impressive that he put it together.
So, first moto, a year and 5 days ago, he won the moto right here.
What a story developing here. Marvin Musquin won the first moto at this track a year ago, then injured in Moto 2, re-injured the knee, had to go for surgery, missed basically a year of action. Our opener this year was 51 weeks after that. So we're looking at now 1 year and 5 days since the injury, and he is leading and pulling away from the rest of the field now.
Well, think about it. The whole COVID situation brought him into this championship battle. I mean, if we had a regular schedule, we would have been wrapped up already. I don't think he would have been nearly ready to be in this position. So
yeah, he said May, the normal schedule, impossible. July even would have been a stretch. Only a couple weeks before this did he start feeling good. And this is good. A battle. Dean Wilson has moved forward. He's behind Barsha. Barsha's 7th. Wilson now 8th. Anstey, who had a fall, has climbed back up. He is 9th, ahead of Norin, who is 10th. Christian Craig 11th. Henry Miller 12th. Short and Tickle next in the order. So a 3-rider battle between Wilson, Anstey, and Norin. Anstey around the outside. That's a unique line, making it work against Wilson. So you got the rider originally out of Scotland, and you got the Brit battling right now under the covered bridge.
I think they've been on the same team for Motocross of Nations before.
Yes, I believe you're right.
When they had the UK team.
Yeah, UK. That's right. So these guys familiar with each other, and just two of the great personalities of the sport as well. And let's keep it an international affair with the Swede behind him, Norin. Hey, Sexton has caught Cianciarulo. Remember, they're battling information. They both got around Osborne. You see there, Osborne made the mistake. It ran into the lapper. But this battle for third is not settled.
No, it looks like, it looks to me like if Sexton just wanted to be aggressive, he could move his training partner out of the way.
It's another mistake, I believe, for Osborne.
Oh, yep. The front wheel got on the right he wanted, but the rear kicked up. Ooh. That's why, as the camera came to him, it looked like he was cruising away, looking back.
And Baggett has actually slipped by him because of that. So now all the way back to 6th for Osborne. Well, this is a big shakeup, and I'll tell you what, I got 2 pet peeves in this sport. So people tell me on Tuesday the race is going to be muddy. I heard that on Tuesday because look at the weather report. Is this muddy?
Nope.
Looks good. Second pet peeve, I heard people already doing the math, saying, well, if Tomac goes 1-1 in every moto and Osborne goes 2-2, will Tomac win the title? And I said, I guarantee you it will not turn out like that.
Yeah.
Osborne already in 6th. Cannot guarantee anything in this sport. I don't think we expected him to win the first 2 rounds and then get 6th in the very next moto. But that's, if you're Tomac, that's all you can hope for. Chip away at the points leader. Although the problem is the rider second in points is Musquin, and he's looking at a moto win right now.
Yeah, that's when you go and look at the results where you're like, ooh, that one hurt.
Yeah, but this 450 field, at least early in the season, is so deep. You just can't count on any rider getting the same result week in and week out, saying someone's going to go 1-1 and someone else goes 2-2.
It's like how many times I know that I've watched football and it's the #1 ranked team against the worst team in the league, and they're like, oh, what's the point of watching it? And they're like, oh, the massive upset. Because you realize the worst team is actually not that bad.
No, and also the data on the results this year is a little bit skewed. We had a mud race.
Yeah.
So if you're Sexton and Cianciarulo, for example, you're saying Cianciarulo crashed out of round 1. Sexton had bike problems at round 2. They're saying, no, we can get right in the mix with these guys. We just haven't had a chance to show it. So that's exactly what they've done in this moto, running in 3rd and 4th. And Musquin, he came to play. He said he was actually surprised to be 2nd in points because he was only a podium guy in 1 of the first 4 motos. 2nd in points was really more of a byproduct of just being consistent. But he has upped his pace today.
He is so good at finding the little sneaky smooth line. He came out of that corner and he actually zigzagged from the left of the right, he popped left and then moved to the right because his acceleration bumps. I mean, it's those little things that make all the little differences that come together. You know, when someone goes, how do you run a 204 late in the race? Oh, okay, I see. He's not hitting all the bumps. He's not hitting, he's finding new lines as we speak.
Stretch run, Tomac stepped it up. He ran another 204, but Musquin did as well, running a 205.3. So Tomac a little bit quicker. If Musquin had gone back into the 206s, the champion would be right there. But Musquin instead able to maintain it. It was almost 4 seconds. Now it's 2. It has been an exchange of mistakes, good laps and bad laps for those two. Same thing for this duo battling for 3rd and 4th. Cianciarulo and Sexton, the 2 rookies, the 2 kids. They ride together during the week, and they are making their mark against the established players in this class.
I would be surprised if Sexton still has some fresh vision left, because he's just been eating roost for about 30 minutes and almost a lap now, because our leaders have started the final lap. Sexton gets around the lapper, no problem there. So, I don't know. If you chase, you're going to have to maybe force this. It is your buddy and your training partner, but
it's also the last lap, right? So running out of time. Musquin now 2.6 seconds on Tomac. Every time we get a split, it changes one direction or another. Tomac closes or Musquin pulls away. But now, with about 3/4 of a lap left, the champ might be out of time to try to track Musquin down.
this is going to be a big win for Marvin. In motocross terms, it's like, I feel like it's like dog years. So his last year has been 7 years of his racing career. So, and then to have, under these circumstances, like I said, I mean, he had the best of the best hounding him, and he kept it so, professional, I guess, but looked forward, focused on himself. I mean, he really has looked almost robotic this race, which is a good thing in these situations.
Well, we kept expecting them to bring the battle to him. Tomac got close at times, and then there was this furious pack of about 5 riders. Marcia has now gotten around Osborne. Osborne all the way back to 7th. So Musquin's going to erase more than half of the deficit in the standings right here.
I wonder if Osborne just, this seems like a track, if you have a couple mistakes in the fall, you could lose your rhythm, and once you lose your rhythm, you're just going around, you're circulating, you're not racing anymore.
Well,
and maybe that's what happened to him. Or arm pump.
Yeah, that could certainly set him with the mistakes. Tomac's still there, still lurking, but I think he's out of time. Marvin Musquin going full circle at the track where he was injured last year. He lost nearly a year of competition, and he goes back on top by winning the first moto. And he had to earn it. He had 6 really fast riders throwing down behind him. Oh no! Anstey was 8th on the last lap. He'd actually battled past Wilson. And it's gonna slip away from him here. Assume that's mechanical problems because he looked okay. Oh man, that's racing. So you got heartbreak for one and elation for another. Marvin Musquin takes the win here in Indiana.
What an incredible win it was, Jason. Congratulations, Marv. They were just saying there in the booth, a year and 5 days, and we saw you take Moto 1 win here at Ironman. How good does it feel to, of course, be back on top, but to be back on top here at this race a year later?
Oh, I feel amazing. I mean, I put in a lot of work, and like you said, a year without racing is, yeah, not normal for me. You know, I've been racing every single year and haven't missed, you know, a lot in my career. So to miss a whole year was tough. And yeah, especially right now in this time where the competition is still high, I'm just so pumped. You know, I feel comfortable with the bike, and we're actually really, really close with settings on the bike compared to last year. So I know how the bike is working, so it feels great. And yeah, I got a great start, and I felt the pressure from behind, but physically I felt like I was able to push. And I didn't look at the pit board much. You know, it's really hard to look at it. You know, there's ruts, and you don't want to, you know, take your eyes off those ruts. So yeah, I felt the pressure, but I thought I changed some lines, but it's hard to change lines when you have someone behind you. You know, if you mess it up, then you lose a spot pretty easily. So, you know, during the moto, I was like, man, that's going to be good to add another moto win, you know, in my career. So I done it. Now I want more.
Thank you, Jason. Like you said, the 2 Kawasaki's are rounding out this podium. Congratulations on taking that second, Eli. Talk to me quickly about the switch between qualifying and Moto 1 here, and also how tough it was for line selection today. Grant talked about it a lot. We saw that gap between you and Marv open and close several times.
Yeah, it's tough conditions out there, and I was struggling just a little bit in practice, just putting that whole lap together. But anyway, racing's a whole different story. Track's coming around now. You know, it seems like there was pretty much one good line that time. Hopefully, you know, we get a couple more from Moto 2 and tries out a little bit. But either way, feeling much better than this morning, and really just looking forward to Moto 2.
Quite interesting how this podium shaped up today. Congratulations, Adam, taking that third there. The start was a little bit interesting, not what you wanted. Was it patience that let you hang in there? We saw what happened, obviously, when Osborne went down and you rode over the top there and managed to get this third done.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. That had to be one of the worst starts from a first gate pick in AMA national history. Just absolutely horrible stuff there. So once I mentally recovered from that, I was able to kind of slice my way through, and it was really aggressive those first couple laps. You know, I think I got around Chase, and he was trying to get me right back right away, and used a lot of energy trying to keep him back there. And then I was catching Zach. He was kind of losing some pace and made a mistake, had to go over his bike there, and I had Chase on me the whole time. So really good learning moto for me. Having pressure the whole time like that, really going to make me stronger for the future. So pretty happy with it. Could have rode better, but that's how it goes.
The all-new Geomax MX34 is the latest result of Dunlop's ongoing development with the help of top